Minnesota American Trails Association Award to one of our local citizens. This award honors only one person every 2 years from each state. The award would have been presented at the organization's international symposium that was held in Dayton, Ohio, but it conflicted with the recipient's local work here in the community. These state awards recognize individuals who have made compelling and significant contributions to the trails movement in their home states. So it's my pleasure today to present this award to Sally Hoskin. I have a little more to add here, Sally. The American Trails Association celebrates Sally's decades of working for the environment with this award and honors her for her work with the Sucker Creek Preserve and how it supports the Heartland Trail. Her work has led directly to the preservation of 117 acres of some of the most sensitive and valuable natural areas in Minnesota. Sally serves the community as a master gardener, an activist on a wide range of environmental and conservation issues. Sally was nominated for this award by Tom and Pam Mortensen of Detroit Lakes. And so Sally, I've got a nice award here for you. Very beautiful, heavy, and it says American Trails 2017 National Trails Awards, State Award, Minnesota, Outstanding Trail Leader, Sally Hoskin. Sally said she'd keep her remarks under 8 minutes.
I'm speechless. I just, thank you ever so much. What do you say? Thank God I've got a talk here about Greater Sucker Creek and about the 3 latest efforts that we are making to make this creek permanent and beautiful, a piece for serenity and peace and spirituality for the community. Greater Sucker Creek, as Matt said, is 117 acres. It's divided into 2 parts. We have the preserve, which is 64.24 acres, and we have upstream, which is 52.7 acres. The preserve has a prairie, and upstream has a prairie. The prairie at the preserve was made by man, and therefore, when we restored the contours, we made every effort to allow the woods to reclaim that prairie. So in the preserve, the woods is going to reclaim the prairie. Conversely, upstream is a water source. The preserve has the creek at the south side of it. The upstream, we needed a source of water. And I was mighty nervous because I had heard it rumored that Coca-Cola liked our mineral springs. So when the opportunity came up for that land, I bought it. And then I went to the city and I said, hey, you know that land, Natran? They said, yes. And I said, I just bought it, and I want my money back. So we applied for a grant, and we got it, $500,000. We've raised pretty close to $1 million now, $950,000 and counting. The first thing we're working on is an upstream. The prairie is going to be restored to native prairie, a native prairie restoration. To that end, we are going to chemically apply what's there. It previously was used for horses by a private party. So we are going to obliterate what's there now and plow it up and plant soybeans. That's this year. next year and the year thereafter, we're also going to plant it to soybeans. By that time, the nitrogen should be fixed in the soil, and the fourth year, we'll plant it to a native prairie restoration. Now, for you city people who are here, we got all in-kind offers, so it's not going to cost the city anything. I think that's pretty nice. We'll add them to our, you notice, how many of you have not been to Sucker Creek? Raise your hands. Admit it, it's okay. Not too many. Okay, it's going to be a little bit hard for you to understand me because a little ways in here I get a little technical. But the major effort is that's one major effort. Then a second major effort is I'm really trying hard to get the schools to have more field days in Sucker Creek. It's close by, it's the cheapest way to go for them to bus the children over there. Having said that, Steve Fody, grade 9 chemistry, has stepped up to the plate, and we have worked hard with the environmentalists and Steve Fody in order to plan 120 students for a half day in the morning. That's 60 in the morning, and then they'll take them back, and then another 60 in the afternoon. That'll happen either a Wednesday in late September or October 4th. We are not quite sure, but we're still working at putting that in. Now, what he's going to do is divide the group into 3. So it'll be a group of 60 divided into 3. Station 1 will do water quality testing. Station 2 will be invertebrate teaching. Station 3, the topic is yet to be determined. We haven't quite figured that out yet, but we're working on it. It could be social studies with that new plaque we put in about the oldest road in Becker County crossing Sucker Creek. So if a social studies teacher wanted to step to the plate, we could have that type of thing. Then in the second semester, he'll do the same thing. It'll be about the second week in May, something like that. Okay, so that's the question. Now we're coming into theory, not a truism here. But the question that Steve is going to pose to his students is, the city is planning new residential development very close to Sucker Creek. What is the impact on water quality? Now, here are some of the things the kids might come up with, and this might get it's a little technical even for me. Erosion into the creek from construction. Ongoing residential impact, sediment, pollutants, runoff from impervious surfaces of houses and driveways. Use of pesticides, herbicides that private homeowners do. Flooding, untreated stormwater runoff into the creek and into wetlands. For example, now I'm pulling it out to give you a real example. The city has planned a dog park, and I believe it's next to the Pelican River. And there's a question mark about how healthy that would be for the Pelican River. Disturbances might be created. You know that Mother Earth is not going to allow bare soil hanging around long. And if you bulldoze or plow or whatever, you're likely to get a replacement with invasive exotics. We got enough problems with invasive exotics, so let's try and keep that out. Examples: leafy spurge, purple loosestrife, spotted knapweed. Change drainage problems, the patterns. Agriculture, for example, has the tiles, and they as a result change the drainage patterns. Water might no longer be acceptable for brown trout at Sucker Creek. We have them now. The water might no longer be adequate for wildlife. Now, let me move, that's all I've got for all those negatives. Let me move over to the truth of the matter, and I think you'll be heartened by this. That is that the Greater Sucker Creek is a mini watershed. It's a mini watershed. It's a watershed within the Pelican River watershed. That happens to be uniquely positioned. It's buffered by the Becker County Gun Club, which has some mineral springs, and they also have some wetlands. It's buffered by Maple Hills Golf Club, by more mineral springs, and by many wetlands. Those are all protected. It's possible that the gun club could be allowing some lead shot to get into the water, but I think they're pretty careful over there. I can't prove it one way or another, but that's a possibility. We want to get away from lead shot. Its own water, Sucker Creek's own water, makes it nearly drought-proof. And it's a very short distance to the mouth of Sucker Creek, which is at Big Detroit Lake. I don't think that's 2 miles. Maybe it is, but I don't think it's much more. So, my long-term wish for Greater Sucker Creek, at least a part-time intern or educated natural resource person, knowledgeable about following our sophisticated management plan, which is the third thing we're working on, and that thing is a Bearcat. But if we could get someone who part-time would look into that, so they'd be alert to the leafy spurge or to the wormwood or just all these negative things, even a tree down in the path. The city has other lands that could use some TLC as well. Sucker Creek is the only one. So I invite you to the peace, serenity, better health, spirituality, and visit Greater Sucker Creek. We have handouts out there, and I urge you to take them. I do have one that says using native plants in the landscape for you to learn about what wildflowers you could plant. There is a companion YouTube show that you can use with that handout. But there is a very nice handout for Greater Sucker Creek. Take one only if you want one, because it costs a lot. Thank you ever so much. I appreciate everything.